We made a poll.
Bottom line first, you don't need a faster hamster wheel. You need a car. Structure that moves, data that adapts, and a CFO who doesn't cry when the margin evaporates overnight.
And it is, so how many of these companies you think are in which phases? Yeah. So this was the result of the poll in our live stream last time. We said most are process aware. Many are acknowledge inefficiencies. Yeah. Some have intra-process control. Nearly none has inter-process control. Then value control and agile structure. And that's the thing, because look, what do we need? Agile structure in a space of geopolitical and economical turmoil, and the world that is more or less changing. We need exactly this. Yes, it's not a luxury. It's something we need. So why is it that there's a big lack of it? Yeah. So we have this big zone here, this problem zone, so to say. Yeah. So what do we do with this? Yeah. How? And honestly, people say to me, Frank, why are you talking about maturity, of process maturity? Nobody will listen to you. Yeah. They all think about SAP configuration. Yeah. Why are you talking about process maturity? Or people say to me, if I talk about process maturity, only 0.1% of people are listening to you, are even listening. Yeah, okay. Then good luck. Then good luck with the turmoil that is going, the storms that are rising. Yeah, that's just a fact. Good luck. Yeah, I mean, I'm always willing to discuss with people who are willing to learn, who are willing to be consulted and are open for consulting. But if people are stubborn and say, no, we don't need it, okay, then you don't need it. Then goodbye. Yeah. But if you think you can need it, process control, then you're right. And here, what do we do with this problem zone? Why is it so difficult to make progress? Yeah. On that scale, why is it so difficult? Yeah, it's difficult because our tool set, it's difficult because our mindset, and it's difficult because of our skill set. So we need all three. Yeah, we need mindset, tool set, skill set. And by the way, maybe we need the tool set. Yeah, because if we have the tool set, I find that people obviously fastly adapt their mindset. Yeah, because they like good tools. Yeah. And skill set, is something you can learn, but first you need the tool set. Yeah, I think that's the thing that we need, and we don't have the right tool set until now. Until now, and that's why we are sitting here and discussing, because so what we had a look at is actually when we do process modeling is we look at the inefficiencies. Yeah, we're trying to automate processes. Yeah, we're trying to like billing and like payment clearing, and these are processes that you can like automate. Yeah, there's this much talk about state of process automation and PPAPO and so on, and how can we automate this process? And and then you get maybe inter-process control and inter-process control. So traditionally, our focus in process management was in automating, making things more efficient, making things more actually saving money, basically. Yeah, so letting it done by the computer instead of by humans. Yeah, and by this making it more efficient, and humans, by the way, can do better things like this openly speaking monkey work. Yeah, so they can be more creative, which is good. So good, it's a good thing, but then you have a problem. Because if you have a highly automated process, yeah, what do you do if that process breaks? Yeah, what do you do if things and events happen that are unexpected? Because then, all of a sudden, your highly automated process becomes a problem, because it is over-automated, so to say. Yeah. So, what do we do then? And what do we do if you don't have a centralized IT system? Yeah, we discussed this last time. Then you also have a problem. In a centralized IT system, you can have the process end to end. Yeah, we discussed this, and this is from SAP ERP system. Yeah, how the process looks like, at least one process instance. Yeah, so if you don't have an integrated ERP system, basically you are screwed. That's my opinion. If you don't share my opinion, then you are free to argue with me. But yeah, so this is from S4HANA Cloud. Also a process, we discussed about this last time. So that's what I said. The problem is this intermediate area is somewhat static. Yeah, it is static. You cannot easily adapt. So what do you do if unexpected things happen? Yeah, if new tariffs are negotiated, if raw materials are not available, if chips are not available, if prices go up, prices go down, how do you adapt? Yeah, if the processes are static. Yeah, and by the way, that's why many don't go into process modeling or process management, because they think, okay, then I'm too static. No, you need agile processes, adaptive processes. ADAPRO, company name, adaptive processes. Okay, you understand it? Good. So, how do we do that? And that's the postmodern. Yeah. So this is about navigating the change. How do we do that actually? Which tools are available? Yeah. How do we have value control? How do we have agile structure? Is this not a contradiction in itself? Agile and structure? Yeah. Either I'm agile, then I have no structure, or I have structure, then I'm not agile. No, that's a misunderstanding. Yeah, because agile structure or adaptive structure is the right mixture between structure and agility. Yeah, for example, a car. Yeah, a car is a structure, but it is very agile. You can drive around with it. Yeah, instead of a house. Yeah, because a house is not movable. It's a not agile structure. A house is a not agile structure. I hope so, at least. Yeah, that your house is not agile. But a car is an agile structure. Yeah, so you need a moving structure, a structure that is able to compel you forward. Yeah, to propel you forward, or a plane or something like this. Yeah, so there are agile structures. Okay, now let me give you a demo. As you might know, let me see. This is our S4HANA cloud system. So we have here billing documents, for example. Yeah, and so what do we have? A lot of billing documents. Let's get this debit memo here. Yeah, and then we can see within that, here we have the process flow. That's how it is called, process flow. Okay, and then we can see what is happening with this one debit memo request. So we have this debit memo request. It has been cancelled. Yeah. Then afterwards, the invoice has been completed instead, and it is afterwards fully cleared, and this is not cleared. So you can see in one diagram what had happened to this one individual debit memo and debit memo request. So that, for example, shows you how the process adapted to the reality, but that's only one process. So what do we do if we have many processes like these here? Should I now click through all of them? That's going to be a lot of work. No, there are better ways, and better ways is this mining here. Yeah, process mining. And this is actually the same data coming from the same S4HANA cloud system, yeah, extracted, and it is display. How many cases do we have here? So, and we can see how many paths we have. Yeah, so there's a lot happening from that system. And we have certain paths going. First, you have the grade billing, then you have grade billing document, you have the accounts receivable, or you have jumping back and forth, going that way, going this way, due date passed, yeah, clear accounts receivable. So we can analyze what actually happened from this. We can increase, decrease and here you can see how the system adapted to the reality. You can analyze it, yeah. So that is the area of process mining. So yeah, and what can we do also? We can do and have a look at these KPIs, yeah, that is generated from these process mining. So number of cases, in this case 8 here. Maybe we need to do a refresh. The average total cycle time, 1 week and 1 day. Percentage of cases with rework, yeah, it's quite low. Average cycle time over time. Here we can see how the cycle time develops over time, and so on and so on. So I'm not diving into detail in that. So we can see, we will do that at another time. But my main point is just this point. My main point is that okay, let me jump there. My main point is that we have now a solution, a tool set. Yeah, the tool set, I make this big, the tool set for this area here, which is not covered so far by most of the companies, that is the plug and grow cockpit. You've just seen some of the plug and grow cockpit that we have built on top of S4HANA, SAP S4HANA Cloud and SAP Signavio. And that offers the missing toolset. The missing toolset by which companies are enabled to move on in the missing area of agility and even value control. Yeah, you have seen the agility, that was how many of these variants of these processes exist, and how do we adapt this to the reality, and even let us discuss about adaptation in another live stream, because this is where the SAP competitors fail so drastically. Yeah, SAP is so much ahead of the competition, I cannot even tell you. Yeah, I must say. Yeah, so if anybody does ERP without SAP, I cannot understand it. Actually, I must say, yeah, you can do this. Of course, everybody has his free opinion, but and free market and whatever. But SAP is so ahead of the competition, you cannot believe it. Yeah, and with our plug and grow cockpit that's built on top of SAP and SAP Signavio, SAP S4HANA Cloud and SAP Signavio, it's exactly addressing this pain point. Yeah, of not being able to having the tool set to be agile and to have the value control. So that is closing the gap, actually. That is closing the gap.
Think about it. Why build a structure that adapts when you can also hard code your downfall, one interface at a time?